Greetings, my name is Michael Stavrakakis and I'm the singer of Doomocracy from Greece. Welcome to a brand new episode of Addicted to Lists. Today's episode is about my favorite Hellenic metal albums. So basically I'm talking about my favorite albums to come out of the Greek heavy metal scene. This is the first of the 3 episodes dedicated to the scene. But can we call Hellenic metal a united heavy metal movement like u.s.metal or new wave of British heavy metal? I'm not quite sure. First of all, the bands don't come from the same music background. They don't have similar style and they don't share the same influences. Also, a nationwide movement would mean that bands support one another by buying the records of the other bands and by attending their concerts, or even touring together, which is not the case, unfortunately, as very few bands do that. There are some movements, though, in Hellenic metal that we can call more organized, like the Greek black death metal scene. It is probably the strongest movement to come out of Greece, reminiscent of Swedish death metal and Norwegian black metal. This movement includes historic Hellenic metal bands like Rotting Christ, Septic Flesh, Nightfall, Varathron, Kavir, and many more. There is also a Hellenic epic metal scene that shares similar influences. As for other genres, I'd say that only a few bands stand out. Could it be better, you will ask? Of course. But ego and personal ambitions come before unity. And when it seems hard for the majority of Greek metal bands to keep a steady lineup, you can imagine how difficult it must be for them to unite under a common cause. Today's guests are 2 historic members of the Hellenic metal scene, Antonis Mazarakis, bassist of InnerWish, and Andreas Tsaousis, guitarist of Marauder. So if you think that's a good idea, let's begin. Remember that these are just my personal favorite albums and not what I consider the best or most historic. So here are my favorite Hellenic metal albums from number 30 to number 21. Let me make some brief comments about the albums that I have chosen. Towers of Gold by Sacred Outcry, released last year, a magnificent album with incredible vocals that take it to another level. Wrath of the Ages by Wardance, an incredible epic metal album that Marauder fans and not only should definitely check out. Manifesto, the sophomore album by Sunburst, a progressive metal band from Greece, which was released this year and is already in my favorite albums of 2024. Sense of Metal by Marauder, a historic metal album to come out of the Hellenic metal scene with incredible songs like Born Again. The Human Project, my personal favorite from Exorcist, a speed thrash metal band from Greece. The band is rising rapidly, having just performed in the Land of the Rising Sun. The self-titled album by InnerWish is a beautiful, characteristic metal album to come out of the Hellenic metal scene, which you should definitely check out. Bleed Babylon Bleed by Reflection, another soul-moving album with incredible lyrics and music. Change by Universe 217, a great doom metal album with a magnificent voice. I could have chosen another album by Septic Flesh, but A Fallen Temple has always been my favorite. It has some incredible songs like Marble Smiling Face with beautiful guitar melodies, and The Eldest Cosmonaut with the amazing voice of Natalie Rassoulis. To be honest, I don't understand why the band doesn't play those songs live anymore. Moving on now to the list of my distinguished guests. First, Mr. Antonis Mazarakis, bassist of InnerWish. Antonis joined InnerWish in 1999, right after the release of their debut album, Waiting for the Dawn, a historic album to come out of the Hellenic metal scene, featuring a great singer, Yannis Papanikolaou, who is currently in Diviner, another great metal band that has already released 3 beautiful albums that you should check out. InnerWish is one of Greece's finest heavy metal bands. Formed in 1995, they have released 5 albums, all of them great albums. I have chosen InnerWish, the self-titled album released in 2016, because I love the voice of the singer Giorgos Ikosipendakis, who has a beautiful, warm tone in his voice. And of course, the songs on this album kick ass. Just listen to Needles in My Mind and Modern Babylon. I think InnerWish is going to release a new album this year, so do check out their Facebook page on the 22nd of August for some exciting news. So here is Antonis Mazarakis' favorite Hellenic metal albums list.
Conviction. This album came to reveal, painfully, who we really are. When tastes are hot, when blondes, brunettes, redheads mix with cold beers and whiskey, vodkas and ouzo-zipos, the party of our life begins and we become alive. Odyssey, I think, is a very emotional album for me. The songwriting, the melodies, the solos. The atmosphere of this particular album is of a very high standard, and as it covers a certain time period of my life, it has a very prominent place in my heart. Sense of metal for the whole generation that loves. The classic sound and came of age in the 90s is a flag. In a time when releasing a metal album in Greece was something from difficult to impossible. Marauder are the ones that made it.
Moving on to my next guest, Andreas Tsaousis, guitarist of Marauder. Marauder is one of the oldest bands of the Hellenic metal scene. Their style is epic and classic heavy metal. Formed in 1990, they have released 7 beautiful albums, with my personal favorites being Sense of Metal, as mentioned of course, and 1821, an album dedicated to the Greek Revolution. Marauder's debut album, Sense of Metal, is considered by many to be the pinnacle of Hellenic heavy metal. So here is Andreas Tsaousis' favorite Hellenic metal albums list. U.s.metal drums is a drum instrument that gives you access to 2 professional drum kits, a top-of-the-line studio sound with an unparalleled realism. I've been using it a lot lately, and I must say that it is very realistic, easy to use, and it sounds amazing. It gives you full mixing control and high-quality effects, full routine options, and a huge selection of MIDI grooves covering at the highest quality a variety of popular music genres. It gives you everything you need to create the perfect drum tracks for all kinds of extreme and not only production. So if you want an all-star drummer like Fotis Bernardo playing some awesome sounding grooves for your next project, you can use my affiliate link in the description of this video and acquire Fotis Bernardo drums by Stigmatized Productions at a discounted price. So we've come to the end of the first of 3 episodes dedicated to the Hellenic metal scene. Thanks so much for watching and thank you for your support. As always, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and leave a quote on YouTube with your own favorite Hellenic metal albums. Until next time, stay safe and rock on!